You asked, I delivered. Today I'm going to introduce you to my new podcast, Ask Jenni. I just want to get you some of the feels, introducing myself as a coach, as a business owner, as a wife, as a mother. Join me as we continue this journey of growth together. Like, comment, and subscribe. But today we're going to be talking about bottlenecks. If you know anything, if you have any type of business acumen, have taken a business course, have done anything, you know what bottlenecks are. Those are those time periods in your business where you hit a roadblock, where you remain stagnant, or where you just are failing. Okay, so I thought of 3 different areas that I feel like bottlenecks and just different problems in business that come up a lot, especially in the beginning stages. And in the beginning stages, I'm talking about anywhere up to $1 million in revenue. So in those beginning stages, is 3 main areas that we're going to talk about today. The first bottleneck, and actually before we get to the bottlenecks, I want to just kind of go through the normal transition of business, the business flow. So you got to generate leads, right? People got to know about you. What do you offer? What's going on? How do I know I'm supposed to buy with you? Where are you? How do I get to you? You generate leads. Then you got to close on those leads. People can say all day long that they like you, that they like your product, they like your service. They're interested. How do you close those leads, right? Then you go into the operations of it. How do you actually deliver on what you said you were going to do for those people? So you're delivering on those leads. That goes into advertising, marketing, taxes, budgeting for all of the things that come as a part of being a business owner, right? Now we move past that. We close the client. We did a great job. We get a review, a testimony, some way for them to go tell 2-3 folks. We say, hey, give me 3 more people that you know would need this service or that we would be able to help. Can you think of 3 people? Can I get their emails? Can I get their phone numbers? Can you let them know I'm coming? Can you tell somebody? Can you post it? Can you write a review? Can you do this video testimonial? All of those things. And then you start that process over. In the midst of that process, you're collecting data at every single stage. How many leads did you have to generate in order to close that one client? How long did it take you to keep touching that client before they actually closed? How long did it take you to deliver on your promise? You said you were the solution to their problem. You did everything that you said you were going to do. How long did that take? How long did it take you to ask them for a review? How long did it take them to give you a review? And so on and so forth. How much money went into advertising to generate that one lead? How much time went into marketing and really just showing people what you had to offer? Data. Every stage of business. If you are not collecting that data, that's your first problem. And that is why your bottlenecks are coming up. Because you're doing the same thing over and over on repeat, and you haven't even seen or assessed whether it's working or not. How many people did you have to get in order to close one? That's a huge piece of data. If you know you talked to 10, 15, 100 people before you closed your first client, I'm going to say something happened within that lead magnet. Something wasn't translating. Why did you have to talk to that many people? Were you not targeting the right person? What was it? So we're going to talk about bottlenecks. And the first problem that I see in business is they're not making enough money, or you become stagnant after making a certain amount of money. So you made your first $30,000, your first year. The second year you made $35,000. Maybe you went up on your prices and now you're making like $40,000, but no real substantial growth. Or you have a great product or service. I mean, you're like right there. You feel like you could do anything. You feel like you're the solution. Why aren't the people buying it? And you're stagnant. So this is a money thing, right? You're just not making enough revenue in your business. This could be a pricing issue. You could be overpriced or underpriced. Some people are like, oh, you've only $100. That doesn't seem right. Something may be wrong. And some people are like, you just started 2 seconds ago. What do you mean $5,000, right? Either way, it could be a pricing issue. Have you looked at the marketing analysis of what's actually going on out here in your field? Unless, like I said, unless you're an innovator of some new technology, some Albert Einstein on here, listen, somebody already doing what you are saying you want to do. What is the industry saying? What are people buying, right? And then think of your secret sauce recipe. What goes into creating the solution that you provide? How much is it cost to you? What is your return? How much is it going to take to generate these leads, to produce this service, to all of the dues and subscriptions and all of that good stuff? How much is it? Are you getting that back with every client? Okay? Not knowing how to generate leads. Some of you are so focused on your offer that you have just missed the whole piece that some people ain't about to jump in bed with you right away, no matter how much they like you. They need some baby steps. They need a gateway drug. My gateway drug has been tax preparation for so many years, right? What is yours? How are you generating the leads? And no process of closing. If somebody like DM me right now and said they wanted to join Motivated Money coaching program, they gonna have a contract, an invoice, a welcome email, a workbook, some to-dos, and within seconds. What's your process? Are you saying, bring me all of your money, I'm going to be the solution? And then you gotta say, well, give me a few days. As soon as you pay your invoice, I'm gonna be back to you. What is it? Because whatever that process is needs to match the price point you're at. So that's the first one. The second, and this one, this goes twofold, and it's with employees. You either have a high turnover of employees or you just can't find the right one. And this can be a number of different things. Number one, you might not be looking in the right spots. If you're so focused on who's asking you for a job, might be your first problem. You know, like your family members, they always got their hand out. So you say, let me give you a job. Unless you're Shaq Money, you can't just do that. What value proposition are these people adding to your business? And I say this because I did it. Okay. Don't let me get on my high horse to act like I wasn't. My mama was in there. Everybody was in there. Okay. They ain't know what they was doing. I ain't know what they was supposed to do, but I just knew that I needed some employees and I ain't had that much money and they was it. Okay? Don't do that. High turnover is a reflection of you. I know this is hard to look at the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror and be like, oh, you're the problem. But it is often you. The leadership, the mentorship, the way your employees feel when they come to work, the way they feel heard, all of those things matter. The lack of direction, the lack of growth. I have someone on my team who's like, all right, I solved every problem in here. I'm ready to go. That's why I got her. I'm like, I got more problems. Here goes some more. Here goes some more. So what are you doing as a leader? And for me, this is hard to say. This is a vulnerable moment, but managing people is like, it's like going to work at a freaking daycare or something. And I love kids, but I don't want to work at nobody's daycare. It's so many emotions and different personalities and different experience levels. Like for me, I feel like the value of your position elevates the amount that you can talk to me about stuff. So if you just answering the phone, which I don't don't care, ma'am or sir. I don't want to talk to you about no, I don't want to. I don't have to. I'd rather get rid of you. But in a leadership role and in managing people, you have to make sure that across the board, everybody feels welcome, heard, all of that good stuff. So that high turnover can be you. Now and I'll use my tax business as an example shortly, but being in a seasonal business, right? Say for instance, you have, super high busy season during the summer, but the rest of the year is pretty slow, but you want to try to maintain this person throughout the year. You need to think about that when you talk about the hiring process. Will they get some commissions during busy season to offset the low entry level point that you have them at? Or will they know that they will have some type of payment schedule where in a non-busy season you get this amount, then you get this amount, then you go back, whatever the case may be, communicate that. Make sure that you don't burn them out during busy season. Make sure they don't have to go run and get a whole nother job when you're in the off season. Those are things that you need to consider. Or also, some people like to work a few months out the year. Maybe you're targeting the wrong type of employee. I know some people who love just working tax season. That's why they got into this business. Okay, so think about that and think about what resources financially or even just in management do you need to figure out where the problem is coming from. Number 3, always seemingly lacking, or you can't get ahead, or you see the money coming in, but as soon as it's coming in, you got to go out. This is a cash flow issue, and I've seen it in a number of businesses. For instance, a lot of people are doing rental arbitrages now where they rent someone's house, but then they rent it out on Airbnb or VRBO, right? That rent is coming right when they make their money. So right when they are, in their busy season and got the place rented out daily, and they're like, ooh, we making all the money, it's rented out. They got to pay their rent. And it's like, I didn't even get to see the money. Cash flow. Are you priced properly? Going back to that. Because if you're not, you will never make pros. If your, bills are overtaking what's actually coming in, how you gonna make some money? And if you are consistently and just, constantly putting money into this business, and I'm gonna say for years, you're just putting money into this business, hoping and wishing and praying for your big break. Faith without works is dead. Okay, so you're doing something wrong. Something has happened. Some area where you were supposed to be collecting data, you missed it. You need to evaluate, why did I put more money into this thing without knowing what my return was supposed to be? Without being able to say, okay, if I invest $10,000 in this area of my business, I expect to make $20,000 by X date. When that date come up and you ain't made that $20,000, it's reevaluation time. When you know that you're halfway to that date and you ain't made halfway to that goal amount, it's time to reevaluate. It does not take years and years and years to be discovered by your target market. It does not take years and years and years to put together a process for collecting the money all the way through getting a person to a testimonial. It does not take years of investment into your business in order to have a return. So this is totally different from, asset collection or investing into stocks or putting money away for retirement. You are investing into an active generation of revenue. So if your business is not producing that active generation of revenue, where is the bottleneck? So everything. And I want to use the tax business as an example. Of course, when you've been in it for over a decade, it's just like top of mind, okay? But I want to use it because there are 3 main areas where the bottlenecks can really crush you. Sales is number 1. You got sales problems, you got revenue generation problems. Operations. If someone just doesn't know where to go next or what to give you, you don't have no scope of work, you don't know what to ask the client for until you get the client, there's no automations, you're just all over the place. And then 3, customer service. Okay? So in the tax business, sales, I believe that one of the first things that most people who go into this industry think is that every American needs to file their taxes so the world is mine. I can go after anybody because everybody needs me because I do taxes. I thought that way. I absolutely did. My marketing was like, who needs their taxes done? Everybody, come to me. For one, I didn't even understand all the tax codes, so I couldn't even understand half of the taxes past a certain threshold of income. So how dare I? How dare I say everybody? 10 plus years ago when I had no clue. When I knew how to put a W-2 in, and I knew that if you went to school, it was a school credit. Thank you for all of you who joined me, 10 plus years ago. You grew up with me and I love you and I'm loyal to you. But you can't, right? Someone come to you with a trust that they want to dissolve and they want to know the tax implications of it because of your very general marketing, and you say, we only here for W-2s. You look crazy. Okay? So adjusting who your target market is, understanding what your level of capacity is for the market, and adjusting your pricing and advertising and marketing and closing ratio with that alone is going to save you a lot of time and money. But then, not showing your knowledge. I see so many people during tax season just pop out, and I do taxes. Pop back in. You were just doing hair 2 seconds ago. I just saw you open up a restaurant 2 months ago. Start to talk about it. Let people know your knowledge. Let people know your interest. Sometimes interest can be enough. Being interested in a topic that you want to be a solution for is enough to at least let people know what's going on. And then you can't adjust your pricing correctly. So in the tax industry, you got 2 different ways that you can get paid. You can get paid out of their refunds through bank products, and you can get paid up front. A lot of people who, are just kind of doing it on the side, got less than 50 clients, they are either saying, hey, give me some money up front, and that money is negotiable because, an extra $200 is still great, right? Or they're saying, after you get your refund, I need you to bring me some money. Both of those ways are terrible. Number 1, if you are only getting upfront clients, you are getting people who have liquid money to pay you right now, with the national average being above $300 per return. That already limits your client base significantly, especially for the people who are getting the refunds that will see the direct reward of working with you immediately. Then number 2, if you need somebody to bring you something back, okay. All right, Suge Knight. Because what you gonna do if I don't? What are you gonna do? My taxes already done. I already got my refund. You gonna tell the IRS? You gonna tell the IRS that you done put self-prepared on my return and I was supposed to bring you back $1,000? You're out of your mind. So you risk this, the process of you doing it for free. So not understanding how bank products work, not understanding how to properly price, not understanding who your target market is, you're killing yourself right off the bat. Then going into operations, a lot of times you think it's a staffing issue. You're like, oh, I just don't have enough people and I can't do everything. And sometimes it is. But sometimes it's some automations. It's some frequently asked questions that come up over and over and over again that you can have on your website, that you can have in a chat bot on your website. You can have on an AI virtual answering service, script. It's so many different ways. Every single time my client's return is submitted, they get an email. When it is accepted, they get an email. When they are complete and they got their money and we're done with them and we want to review, they get an email, right? Automatically. Those automations give me several touch points and make sure that, number one, my team understands where they are in the process, but they understand where they are in the process. Operations works internally and externally, simultaneously. Okay? So in understanding that, what systems do you have in place? What processes are already there or not there? That could be your bottleneck right there. You just not understanding, or maybe you haven't even done enough clients to understand, but you don't understand where they're going to have trouble, where they're going to want to have answers, where they're going to want to need to talk to you or ask questions. You can already foresee them when you have operations and operations management in place. And then finally, customer service. All right, guys, if you have a brick and mortar and you say that your office hours are 9 to 5, baby, get there at 8:30. You do not leave until after 5. I mean, that's like one of the most simplest forms of customer service. But when somebody see on Google that your office hours are these hours and then they come to that building and you are not there, they automatically think this establishment is ghetto, unorganized, lack staff, lack integrity. You just lost a person just because you had to go pick your kids up from school early this one day. So having the things in order and in place to make sure that little things like that don't happen is a part of customer service and what could be the potential disastrous bottleneck in your business. Not answering a question. So going back to the tax business, if somebody want to know where they refund at, the IRS done hung up on them 2 times. They've been on hold with them for 2.5 hours and they say, I don't know, you need to ask your tax preparer. And now they can't get in touch with you either. That lack of customer support alone could be the single most deadly kill shot to your business. So now understanding the generation of leads, the closing of leads, the operations part, the cash flow management, making sure that you're budgeting for taxes, operations, as well as investing into advertising and marketing, and then doing that process over and over again while collecting data at every single point can eliminate every bottleneck in your business. So when I work hand in hand with you, the first thing I want to do is align your goals with the solutions to the bottlenecks. So when we are doing it, I want to know your scary goals. I want to know that in 5 years, you would like to change the lives of every individual in your family. I want to know if in 5 years you want to be a complete business owner with franchises across the country. I want to know what those scary, scary goals are, and I want to align them with how we strategically outline everything in your business. So getting organized, budgeting, setting projections, all of that stuff comes in alignment with your goals. And with your goals, you have to be evaluating the data every step of the way. So I want to leave you with a little homework because we already know how you and I can engage, right? You listen to a couple lives by now, right? You know that We have the coaching program where we work with you to get you through those bottlenecks, to identify the problem, help you make sure that you have sculpted out the solution properly pricing it, properly staffing it, right? And then we also have the done for you. I mean, some of you are like, listen, I'm making the money. Here we go. Take it, Jenni. You and your team, do what you got to do. Give me my health analysis on a monthly basis. Let's just do that. And we do have those options as well. But this homework today, I want you to really marinate on this. Because again, this is that whole business model and process that we talked about. What is the problem that you solve? This can be multiple problems. But what is the problem that you and your business solves? Who do you solve it for? And then take it one step further and start to identify what those bottlenecks are. Because if you're still stuck on number one, that's probably the bottleneck. You don't know what your solution is. You don't know what you have to offer. So what problem does your business solve? Who do you solve it for? And where have the bottlenecks presented themselves in business for you thus far? Starting there, you can cultivate how you're going to do sales, how you're going to do advertising and marketing, what operations management you need. You will know exactly what you are lacking in identifying these areas. So, I talk a lot. I already told y'all I don't like these lives. I don't like just talking to myself. Y'all don't be talking back to me. But I want to continuously get you thinking in a productive way. Because so often we get into this space of being like, oh, I just can't do it. Or I don't have enough experience. Or she said she's been in this business for 10 years. I just started last month. Okay. But where are you great? Where can you get out of your own head? And I think the number one way is to map it out. Because if you tell yourself and you write it out, you list it out, all of the problems that you can solve for other people, businesses, enterprises, who gonna stop you, boo? How can you compare yourself to anybody else when you know the solutions that you are presenting? You know the problems that you can solve. And a part of imposter syndrome is having some skill set, right? So if you like, you know what? I'm about to just pop out and start doing hair. And if you're anything like me, listen, you got two moves. Comb, scrunch. Period. I'm not about to pop out and do nobody's hair. Okay? So I have to know where my skill set is in order to figure out what business I want to go into. Have you even done that yet? Or are you just like, I know I need to start a business and I need to generate some extra income. And so I'm just going to do this because I've seen a lot of people needing this. And if that's where your imposter syndrome is coming from, is warranted. You should feel like an imposter because you don't know. You are not privy to the information that it's going to be a solution to anybody. You don't have the skill set. And for you, go ahead and pop off because go get off the live. Go close it. Because I don't have anything for you. You got to have a skill set first. But for everybody else, living in your truth and in all of your glory, right? You know that you're great at educating, that you are you have a proven process to generate leads. You absolutely know the formula for the best hair care products in the world, right? You don't stop you. So I'm getting off now. Let me stop, okay? You have your homework. What is the problem you want to solve or that you can solve? Who do you solve it for? And then what are the bottlenecks in your business that have been stopping you in your tracks? At what points in your business? Is it the generating of leads? Is it the sales and closing part of it? Is it the financial management? I don't understand how to budget and cash flow part of it. Which part? Is it the operations? Do you not have any automations or touch points with your customers so they feel like, I don't know, I just didn't hear from her no more, or she didn't answer the phone, or she never was at the office, or whatever. Figure that out, and let's work through those things and issues together. But as always, let me know if you are interested in coaching and if you're interested in retainers. So, listen, y'all better talk back to me before I quit doing these lives. Have a great day and do your homework. I'll be checking in with you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Thank you for listening to this episode of Ask Jenni. Ask Jenni has been in the works since 2016. I have started tax team services, developed coaching programs for small business owners and tax professionals, and I've even started a podcast with my husband, Finding Love. You can follow me on Jenni L. Hendricks on all platforms. But before you leave, like, comment, subscribe, and ask Jenni anything. I'm here to talk to you more about business, life, love, and all things growth.